Arishima me adam asese wunya bretwe me koto nkrafe yeto yakase bo no so du brave say di enkomo na enkomodie no eda so awo asen of abato mpehia no so sanse yakase amajukwa do no nyina ye krado se omo kokopre emrahye dwadi bre no na asem iba ye Supreme Court na share se yenyini din emfamfiri emrahye bidwafo enhomamu na so nyem emrahye bidwani bio aye onunyafo gyachekwesen asem no ba ye no ko ba ko a akasare afon ya ndc fo sanso ya ndc ni ndc fo chere so kwan Supreme Court fa so edibu asem no enye esanso panin no ode nkrata nyina ko chere electoral commission fo se onye Canada ni bio ema electoral commission so hwe nkrata mu nyina hunu se wo sefata ene ma ne kwanso nkogina nti dubra wo so asem na shebedwani na kasansa no na tumi krata de ama ne so onye Canada ni bio no na ekura no nti eba ne sen ena yeyi ne din difiri mu ebinum so kire se so long as a ontumi nya krata no ansa na all file kura no e kire se enti Supreme Court adom cheche mu aba na ne de ya Speaker of Parliament so akase bi na no na se de yadwene koso kakra se Supreme Court ena ahye Parliament se yeyi ne din fanfiri mu Parliament nso a wo mo hyehyɛ ya wo mu de so die o madwuma enti wo tumi sori akaka se Supreme Court kan ti yeyi ne din de afiri mu enti ebisa sa ye bia abaye kokoto ye by election eno so be unconstitutional said the rule adom level de ne ye unconstitutional ya na aya se bisa pa parties how do minute and this in people 40 no wo mote nkasen wo hunu ni sen enti ne wo ma be kam se ofia ye Lawrence Gatti wono ejina mu edema NDC amayoko no Lawrence akwaba bibia boko bibia boko okay ana fi kwasi botwe gini anso MPP communication team no kan bi kwasi akwaba yes sir Lawrence menom se moni abreak digidi ewo asenof se adwana mo be sanje mo ade back so far mo grounds ti sen edema mo eja enyumri mechia wahwefo nyina imde mfimfi manto me de worhwe programming na mechia NDC fu titir wona wo asenof and yebobo party leadership abado national executives a okopo mu ho oye maramo boss lawyer Sami Jemfi the national women organizer oye Dr. Hanabisiu Akogan Kobe Ballon regional executives led by the regional chairman constituency executives branch executives and a party faithful sir in Suroto na ehwe edoma wa bodompem there wopede wote in sama obefi wo member of parliament awon wonyim no oye ora George Chikwesen eho na menyim se video ni nya bi hwe ya na ehu de awon no owo soro paaye na asinof nsensemi am the introduction ni can nsemi fa statement be a speaker why in there na say ehwa a separation of powers Montesquieu I basic yes Supreme Court will interpret the law but I don't think the Supreme Court direct exactly what the executive should do or what yes this is the law so you interpret the law but to direct as if there I wanna extra my under that is why it was separation of powers inti our ye would we are I think the Speaker of Parliament or head the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana and so also be taking decision and they also have leadership inti I don't think the conclusion you made the ebia a besanso a unconstitutional decision I don't think that will arise because already Parliament per the ruling of the Supreme Court has taken steps to say that the seat is vacant. So I think that is what Parliament should do if there is a ruling. Ruling number. Ruling ne ba no almost see any say Parliament any say. Say no Parliament na say seat na vacant. And a letter commission for na ka say seat na vacant into ye by election yi. It is still na no utie speaker. Was say or no unilaterally no entumi ye na adwene say we begin in the free mu. A process, this is the first of its kind in Ghana. And due process must be followed.
Of course.
Does that mean say sit near and say a vacant sabri, you know? A mrakwamuno. Yeah, say they see and say be tear the speaker can hear. And still no. Just question. Ne din da so e na se bedwamu
eyima bibia sida but bibia so to me see as somebody say NDC we have said the ruling now by if there injustice to the person of Joe Kwesin and even the entire process na mayeka ayegina doing there to even conclude they expunge somebody's name. I don't think it is in your because as more kwedo now funding what the court no one kade or expand your binidi another day. So I think it's an extension of even the ruling. If Gimpano unqualified, yes, unqualified, and that should be the ruling. But to go to the extent of saying expunge and those kind of things. So I will say in the records, we will say the Asin North from 2020 to date, no when you member of parliament. Is that what the records will show? When you be in this year by elections now work on Waroko per the constitution no or new elections and other by elections. If it is new elections, then the person has 4-year term because that is what the constitution says. But if it is a by elections, then what it means is that in no be and away for another BBT what you nasan. It is a by election, and I tell you there was somebody. So I don't see why you can have by election whilst you are saying there, be and you cry. So per the records, the place will be blank. It can never be blank.
Not until
there was an election organized by a state-recognized institution that is supposed to conduct election, which is the Electoral Commission. The same constitution has given them the powers to conduct elections. The same constitution that gives powers to the Supreme Court to interpret our laws. It's the same constitution that has given the powers to offend them. Electoral Commission. Electoral Commission also use procedures. And what the J Papa do because per one fifty there that be infumbia you yes one kade or mindful for that into major battle, but you should not hold dual citizenship. In that case, what do? You have to take steps to renounce that. And the man showed every document there his intention to renounce his dual citizenship with the Canadian a friend. Far outdates the commissioning of nominations by the Electoral Commission for the 2020 elections. Almost a year ahead. But what happened around that time in the Mri and people who would work there because of COVID or maybe basa. And he said with this explanation, there I don't control the system. But per my intention and per the Canadian process, there say a renouncer actually 6 months, the maximum of it, you have your if they accept your application because they can accept or reject. But if they accept her, within 3 to 6 months maximum, you should have it. And now processes are occurred though the time because of COVID, people working from home and those things, they were not able to process for him. And work for elections. And we winning. But to let it look like all this thing never happened, I don't think that. I don't think that the Supreme Court of Ghana is even helping the history of Ghana, because if all this process went on, but Supreme Court by just a ruling want to say there nothing happened. George Ejikwesi never filed anything to ABR, the Canadian embassy. George Ejikwesi never contested an election. Electoral Commission never even conducted any election for a send-off in 2020. That cannot be possible.
But have they really said that? Say, one contesting they say they be a walker.
No, but if you say expunge his name, it is his name that shows there an activity went on. Bibi Kodo. It is a way you need it from it becomes blank. So now it's riba for no. We fear sin of 4 bar. Now 2020. What to about Ghana and I sin of 1 to aba. Per Supreme Court to watch and I tell Parliament to cry and who be or there. The education existed in that period. So what we are saying there, yes, you have given your ruling. We are unsatisfied. Another ye engine to, but honestly, in Chile, we are one kind there. Every ruling about you better yarding. Okay. And the yarding saying there, this is a ruling of injustice to the person of Georgia Education, even to the Electoral Commission, because Electoral Commission is also an independent body. Almost all the right to assess the credibility of a candidate, and they went through that process to assess the individual, and they felt they per their regulations, or qualify. Okay. And I would jano treat the miscade now or collections. And the CCI, the master my American, say Georgia Education, or you'll be able to the Electoral Commission crack court. Okay. Because this is a state institution. Why Jiniska?
Now the ocean is sent to me anchor.
Now exactly.
Okay. Yeah, but no so later. Maybe I know sister to me.
But beside there, yeah, strength to them.
What actually said them beside walk fight into them about second round and that's back and worker. Okay. Kwesi be person this speaker some no most more grounds so money breed dey some more year car kwan gidi pa ebinom say mo kwan no mo shada ye say dey be ya ebe man microphone ato abade ma mo road minister say ekwan no mo mpre mo nya ni gidi o mo nya botoro mo nya no boko ebinom say mo num say mo lusu enti no mo ye ni 10 na say mo wie a na mo lusu na be ha adwene enti no mo ye no boko na say ensem pebre ene de speaker akan mo ni say
enwuma de mefa konya so na machia ne Lawrence ene bibia ohwen bia me party mpanifo free polling station level ekosi national level me chia bibia na machia Doma East MP MP honorable Portune Berima am so born home modern wo Doma East point me bona baso na asema we bu say MPP strength ewo Asen North ade yigina ye na so pa na enye se ye be by election tina road minister ni aban we asha se ye developmental project was Asen North osha aban we if we say about 2017 ya spread your developmental projects across the country our constituency district bia enya so mfaso nti bibia anywhere che by election ebeba so nti ena ye de tractors na ade akogu Asen North for kwan so ayeye they also deserve their share of the national cake say ye be your kwan nti say
coincidental
anya coincidental because aban ne hyase ansa na ruling no kra eba nti no anya coincidental ade aban no eye ne chefa as part of say Asen North to Obama president Akufo-Addo no almost chefa e woman was omunya wa aban no na aban ne ya mom na nya say by election bi ba ntina ye ne say because we call other constituencies so ahwe nko so wo so aban ne ye adwuma wo nti ye ka ne say ente say na me Jacob na me concept no so nsema speaker can I think say wa che na adwen think say Mr. Lawrence so kasa no wa kan SMP na ade wo say ye hu ne say Jechikwesi na same way na every baby na eba started from the High Court in Cape Coast and san ababedru Supreme Court ruling na ene ababedru so no enye say Supreme Court for sorry ya na o me ruling automatically say ora Jechikwesi yen expunging him from the records of Parliament na mani holding ho as a member of Parliament view enye sa na tie there is a basis asem no every baby na eba there is a genesis of the case to back I somewhere in 2021 July 2021 ena Ura Jechikwesi a private citizen or Asen North constituency or a constituent of the constituency and then a court say Ura Jechikwesi parliament awaba no ene imra article 94 clause 2A of the 1992 constitution ebo ebra into the court in the in Cape Coast no the High Court in Cape Coast no and share the nomination no and then the subsequent election into Parliament in him. And a Cape Coast High Court need do judgment by and say, no cre as the material time no Jechikwesi filing the nominations and other documents to contest as a member of Parliament. No. Now as that material movement no gusukuta Canadian citizenship. As in kuta Ghana citizenship. I trust any allegiance no full allegiance to the people of Ghana into no contest as a member of parliament and it's important say you acknowledge the fact say you can't be contested as a member of parliament and no interest what could na parliament you swear in kwan interest or a member of parliament. The process is initiating your steps to become a member of parliament and also count it because you cannot based on an illegality or an act that contravenes the supreme law of this country now the parliament na yenya o sa mani nye again some come we ni we should be mindful say there is a precedent to this matter ebiesida enye novel we enya asem fufura esi wo Ghana ha there is a precedent because the Supreme Court for ruling no crime did the full reasoning of the court na ba na page 19 of the court ruling na the court recognized the fact say Jachi Kwesin asem na esi ne ebiesida fact no eye similar eti court no kra no edwell most of the reasoning no on the decision of Supreme Court in Ahodi Dada in 2009 in the case of Sumaila Bilbil versus Adamu Dramani Adamu Sekendi Boko Central MP. Inte idea ebiesida no so no kuta Burkina citizenship any US citizenship. Court in rule say ukita citizenships we are not so ukita citizenship be apart from Ghana there you are not eligible to contest as a member of parliament. Our court in a sentence and so ungo di 2 years we fiase. And in some way I koso no. Ebiesida. Ana Mr. Lawrence Kasano ka say bi say assembly court no kra na nkan say Supreme Court expunge ni din. Denti assembly copy Supreme Court and say Tama High Court man ruling na as a Tama High Court in man ruling since April 2022 no. Na Oraje Chikwesi the lawyers file appeal. And I file the process be a friend stay of stay the execution of the judgment. Some process ni be and none the lawyers file it. It's not judgment no it's in full force. But as at April 2022 High Court judgment ni by and that's that time ya no Raje Chikwesi eguso ko parliament. Enti onipa no de ne ko High Court international who say no. There is still a continuous breach of the 1992 constitution. And your constitution also article 2 and our constitution prefer say obia obefili say obi ebu constitution so the right forum is the Supreme Court. Fasani pano ekodan Supreme Court na Supreme Court no enti asem ba asem ni hu say eye no kre anase nya no kre say aso nipa no obu constitution so ana. It's nipa no dey call Supreme Court na Supreme Court dey ruling by say no. The High Court's decision say Oraje Chikwesi was not qualified to contest as a member of parliament. It's still valid. It's not valid, no. So Oraje Chikwesi, as and when a debut of parliament be a no book constitution so. Into Tuesday or parliament or book constitution so Wednesday or parliament or book constitution because there is a valid decision of the High Court. It is Supreme Court ruling based on the decision of the High Court says.
Sir, Supreme Court has High Court has working with the interpretation of the law, constitution and law. No? You can, nyina kuwie Supreme Court aboboano.
Right.
And see, say High Court, will keep kus no, say, wono sigina ya, as Supreme Court to ACA. Na enya de omo omo twaduane aso omano.
Right.
2. Ebra wo call or de enkrata yi ekoye nyina achi no. Wono so say, wo bra letter commission for eso onfa nkrata amra no. O de nkrata e di adanse se ono Jachi Kwesin no. Weye obi a the Canadian citizenship no. Wo pese wogya mu. A o de hu nkrata nyina ko che letter commission. Emma letter commission so hu se no kore ene ebi ekwan ma ne se wonko no wonkonkoye. Enti de we mu no ye misa se eye letter commission na fumso no firi wo mu. Ana so se eye denti na kokodu be eye dure bezo na fe na bra we dia no so taw esa taw
that's it eja mo say asema o kan say High Court na ko say no siege na ye wo say Supreme Court ni sinente sa kakra because the tie ni say High Court no mu need the power to interpret the constitution. The power to interpret the constitution is at the sole jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The High Court ni ye ni say omu bua say whether or not say Oraje Chikwesi as at the time are not contested no kuta Canadian citizenship and also kuta Canadian citizenship. That was the duty of the High Court. And at the Supreme Court no so abechire ni say as at the time a High Court decision aba no oye ade Oraje Chikwesi no the continuous stay in parliament in ebu article 94(2) so ana say embuso enti na two distinct in sama ekopie court in anim enti na nye the same thing. Now again eba on the matter of electoral commission no Electoral Commission a regulatory body a ehwe ya abato so nsem. Wo document a de bekwa koma Electoral Commission and in Electoral Commission behwe so o de be ka say what pass say o be contest elections and I say on pass ye. Enti no wo document a de bekwa koma Electoral Commission say o ko kire say what pass say o be contest election na say later no it is found out to be untrue say you are not eligible to contest that is where pedri bebem any forgery bebem. Enti na ora Godfrey Damian Sweye the Minister of Attorney General no me no ka say a level criminal charges against Ora Jechikwesi say wa forge enyoma and after so retwa aban authorities and officials and enti are charged with forgery and perjury and your criminal charges enu bia na de charge Ora de mu second year de jeli no enti ye hwe dia court no so ebeka
okay
na oba dia speaker eka ye no so na I think the Supreme Court has every right so be directed the affairs of Parliament or the executive. Because Carrie Rollins abreast so Atama Rollins try the first term we ya or the second term. Our council ministers are we on twice wa ora GH mensa dey asem no call Supreme Court say it is unconstitutional say Yebema ministers at twice second term so among converted. The Supreme Court ruled say no it is unconstitutional because omo term is coterminous to that of the president. Into 4 years ni twema why your minister bian you have to subject yourself to Parliament again for vetting and approval. Former President Rollins, some and the ministers no echo Parliament for vetting bill. And so there are a lot of precedents where Parliament aye bibia and as executive arm of government na aye bibia court na rule say illegitimate.
It's so many be and na speaker so say Parliament nso no enye se wo mka asa no kire omo ano mo ye omo so mo processes I say omo de fam na wo mo hunu say okwan ye so ye adwumanie wo mo say one arm of government aka say yenye say but enye so no kan no na ye de adwuma enti ho na ne ebisa say sanetia dia does that mean say Owura Jechikwesi any or is this still a member of Parliament? Two, by election I see a quay as a near Bray quay. Per the speaker can let us say ni any free Parliament to walk. Until now, why by election near Quay? And yet, Constitution ABA, yes, yeah, pray and walk way be a baby as a Samuel Ura the Muluvudia, no. A baby as and say it was unconstitutional. And I feel no so I could done in some fruby. My mouth 2 minutes upon a fianco, now make code sorry.
Medase, I say by election a fully constitutional because by election ebe kono radom level a different thing. Dom level the executive arm of government now take a decision of Supreme Court rule say unconstitutional. But we know a Supreme Court directive. And again, Parliament mra omudi ye adwuma standing orders but the year was here G2 say the 1992 constitution supersedes all other laws. Eti Parliament orders ne standing orders omudi ye adwuma ne ehye constitution ase. And now constitution so no ni person in so be the constitution near Supreme Court. And now Supreme Court a direct say obi stay in Parliament no illegal unconstitutional. Parliament does not determine the validity of any of its members in the chamber. That is not the job of Parliament.
Ntina Patrick says speaker in Nimudia work can.
Menkasa, but I'm just saying say
or no see a lawyer ni.
I'm not saying say
or tell me nyese bia me kase wano. Or yem na sebe dwani. Why yem na sebe dwani da.
Absolutely.
Or you speaker of Parliament, no sign lawyer ni. And on no so nim processes a omo famu e wo na sebe dwam ansa no so bi din be ye free mu a yetumi ye free. Enti as we speak, you know, Jechikwesi din no ye nyin free mu say ye tie the speaker kan ya ye nyin free mu ye nyin free mu a ye say ye kwakwa by election no now which is which. As
I speak to you on record Jechikwesi ye yin the records of Parliament by the clerk there is a letter by the clerk of Parliament ye issued somewhere last week I say Parliament I expunge from their records Owura Jechikwesi ni din free Parliament mo enti Jechikwesi as a menoka say onye member of Parliament
enti assembly na speaker so kan
I don't know any opinion of which he is entitled to his opinion. Remember, because speaker opinion, you're right and I say you're wrong.
Okay.
It is his opinion.
Okay.
But his opinion is not the position of the law.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Me kakra orobo no homozen.
Koma ye die wo ho. De bia na me ka se mi se yese agroba wo jafie a entutu brika nkonkohia. Otwa na beto se boko na ahobrase etobase so wie nkunimdie. Ena me ti speaker asem no madwenu ye me na kakra pa sense say or say after that they are going to kickstart the process. What does that mean?
Yeah, today me more no. Number one, the fact may be correct, and I want to straighten that. Number one, Supreme Court, High Court of Cape Coast, or Justice Kwesi Boachi, overruled the Ora George Education, Okita Dwa Citizenship, don't mean another Nabano, won't criminal. Stay of execution at the Court Appeals Court, or Cape Coast. In fact, you stay appeal court for more than a year. Cape Coast Appeals Court. In fact, your appeals court na yankasa yedin kan ye ba Supreme Court. Oye time lawyer Chachuchi Kata. Obeso asem no from Abraham Amaleba lawyer. Na ho no na ye pe nchechirem ebasa pe. The Ebenember na wakade obi oye member of parliament. Indika Supreme Court one chechirem. Oye abra or fankratai. Oye nomination forms. Na wa fail do pedo gina. Ana abra what to abano. Ana de what to abano ewie na wo so ani in. Da mu nsembise ba se menyo ka sei Supreme Court. Yezu kwai wo yi anu ba pemende. Nka yebutu ye de nsesi ye bode. Obi ye member of parliament. Wa abra wa pick forms. Ana obi a member of parliament wa abra wa to abano wo de yin. Ana obi a member of parliament wa abra wa so in parliament. Say enne ora enne say enim. Enne na wa so in parliament a. Peter Charoko ana ndere ko yala obutuma afa no do a member of parliament. Enti da mun chechirem na yehia. Enti so nyima that one we did. Enti George Education was going to parliament because now there was stay of execution. Cape Coast Appeals Court. 2. Adamu second in the case na papa in the case so the same thing. And the issue of perjury na there government damim na dey working sabi oye abosrem ka because this is a personal need document no you know the bibi kodoji o or the chim or the na ko gu ho my I file it. I don't have control and this was the time I did 2019 and we are in October 2020 and the intentions was clear to the Electoral Commission. And that is why when there could be an Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission, one for Kata be able to there, or George Education, Ozi, Akusam, or the chairman. Electoral Commission to Munkana. Enquire will be a there, the man I'm going away to know, not the cock chairman. It depends on anybody. Akusam or woman anybody. Is it not that he applied for renunciation in 2019? Is it not that his certificate came in 2020? Just 10 days after the closure of the nominations. Enti the mo nsem no fon tunchen. Over second day, Okita draw citizenship. Abro a member of parliament. O to as member of parliament or the mo passport no do to kwa. Enti you can't miss these two. Or two different issues. Equal wa conceal ne identity. And they why clear that yes, we come abroad Canada. Me the mo kodom one no me Ghana yin so me baba to aba but the memory merebe embrani chere there me renounce me so I've taken steps and that is what he's supposed to do. He doesn't control the process, so he made it clear to them. So this issue of perjury and those things doesn't come in. Now Supreme Court assembly was so akade 1997 a Supreme Court ruling the ministers should be sworn in again. It doesn't come in. Yes, that is the direction of the Constitution. So they just interpreted. But once Jerry John Lawrence there, the member pay fan as minister. What now this ruling is doing there is directing you exactly what to do. Give your ruling.
So my to me sigina who say ebi okon fa so de buy na nya kwampa nto nya kwampa de ane no nsem fata say wo mo manete na won te dey say you need di free
into where you need free ma na make there you see Supreme Court should not try to create any lacuna in our constitution. Constitution is there obi obedi member of parliament we hold in 4 years. And this is here no one sponge you need one clean slate no do bibia there obiara engine abatumpo ho no ene ye pede ye ka there owura judge education wa on existing sisi ano by election na work on work for the continuation of the 4-year tenure another work start to 4 years afresh because he never existed in Jasin North has never had an MP from 2020
na say pe wa ka say mu no say tama mode stay of execution ko ye no na oba parliament
yes
esan say na ehontina he was a parliamentarian
only thing na ye ka there nipa no wa ko parliament wa so any in wa dinatu and that is parliamentary process
yeah
and so far as a parliament won wa dinatu now be ruling now for the first time you direct parliament the one expunge it can never happen until the parliament you find the parliament was a ratification in the country bosia bia the parliament what do one such as na de na find the day what do Supreme Court na say okoba ni day ya then Supreme Court will direct parliament today they should expunge everything to show them that thing never existed
yes so no kan hu bi omoye no yes
it's here Supreme Court at parliament Hansard in normal Edokuma.
Etiba memra kwesi so na kwesi
because the Hansard shows there he was sworn in as a member of parliament. So are you saying that everything that existed that do the this somehow can you do they should go and expunge then the Hansard will change.
Okay.
Because even the minute from this to this time no because what try the minute na can until do the education participation in that place will be blank. Then people will be asking questions there. What happened that time?
Okay. Me da say kwesi
of answer near be call next I think say
mami mi sa onwie me bi sa wi ana for what did the abeka na ka e dia soso enkomo aye die no e wo mu say ye nyamranim fo nya lawyer fo e bituma interpret the law no to its fullest but at least we be say e bituma the common sense atoto ho kakra na ya hwe say so said that dey ekoi sa na say ye sa na say ba se we be ye duro no by election e koso wutie de speaker kan a oso no de wo bra Supreme Court de enkrata na be bae no eno no ka kire clerk of parliament se ko ka kire yisifo say the Supreme Court akanie enti afei na wo mo so aba mra hye bedwam ho no wo mo so e ba behwe mu
yeah
enti yisi na si ginaye wo bra parliament enye de se so mo ya na
Matthew say unim I'm say Mr. Lawrence Kasano can be bia wa misquote me wrongly
kaden
stay of execution asem na or case court of appeal no make can I said it in the context say as at the time of Supreme Court ni ruling on article 94(2) asem na abana that time there was no stay of execution in the court of appeal. If you don't know, the Court of Appeal in Cape Coast struck out the stay of execution of Jachikwesi in March 2022. That was when the Court of Appeal struck more appeal down. And Supreme Court ruling, it was just in 2023. So I'm saying, say, as at the time as Supreme Court, Eddie Jinayaba said, Ora Jachikwesi, expunging the from Parliament records, mono. As at that time, there was no stay of execution. You might have found a stay of execution, but you are dismissing that. That doesn't mean say it holds water. And so let's get down and understanding clear. Because you see, I mean, say there is not any stay of execution. Be it say you are holding the ruling of the Cape Coast High Court. Who bet my file stay of execution, but court in Bogu and then say it holds. Let's get that clearly. And again, okay, three issues no business say Supreme Court, you know, and Kase Daben will be a member of parliament. And I think Mr. Lawrence hasn't read the full judgment of the court, the 36 pages judgment of the court. If you go to page 19 of the judgment, court on 7 issues now, or decided or no, the 7 issues answers the questions now where Busano and the NDC people are asking. So they should read. There is pain in reading, but they should read. Because the NDC's failure to read the judgment. The NDC's failure to read the judgment, or what they give grave, Amoraje Chikwesi, and they are pushing him gradually into the grave. Court Neka say, as at the time, you bet Makaso be a member of parliament and no being a member of parliament, and yet 7th January, I asked when you pani in. As at the time, a new panel, filing a document to contest, to initiate the process to become a member of parliament. And so court's decision, or can say the emphasis on Article 94(1) is on the word qualified. A German example, Kakran Yakoso. I say a football match. Now I can say Jacob Nabo United Television FC. You qualify to be a team player of United Television FC as at the time I will file a document to FIFA to be a footballer. You don't qualify as at the time you are standing on the pitch to play the football. It is a clear distinction. You qualify as at the time at GFA4 and no document, no birth certificate, no nyomeni abekwa FIFA. Or when you be determine eligibility criteria no, according to the rules and regulations laid down to regulate the affairs of football. But you don't qualify as at the time I walk show jersey I be Gina Park so near Kase afe ne Jacob na yakase or you qualify to be a footballer. No, that is not the interpretation of the Supreme Court. Qualification means the initiation of the process.
Okay.
It is Supreme Court in who this as at the time the question filing a document and that material movement you be nominations in October 2020 or filing the document. As at that time no you dual citizenship. And that matter has been established by the Cape Coast High Court, by the Court of Appeal in Cape Coast, and by the Supreme Court. If the NDC feels they have any proper and credible defense to Uraje Chikwesi Assemna, Omunko review Supreme Court Assemna. That would rather save them than their failure to read the judgment and again parade themselves as if say the Supreme Court or the High Court has done a disservice to them. Of course, Uraje Chikwesi Assemna. And Jomero issue no, and was similar facts. About the same Jomero the any day, or moving case no High Court, no man because judicial system no any Juma. But no the mobile judge now also said the judicial system is working. It is the same judicial system that has said we should expunge the name of the Assembly not member of Parliament from the records of Parliament. Okay. And you know, let nobody think and let nobody behave as if say. Court anytime you be and now court is creating a lacuna. Okay. The Supreme Court is not creating a lacuna in anybody. You are creating a lacuna for yourself if you have failed to read the ruling of the court.
But that say
my main straight me say mu there time my appeals court no and na ye did the means be say ye come Supreme Court the member no we here no that be a ruling that be obey. I'm saying that time na ye appeals court and I back for interpretation. And the interpretation one for made the member no. No, you don't determine the timelines of Supreme Court for interpretation. You don't determine that. NDC doesn't determine that.
NDC communication team member.
Since when did NDC become a timekeeper for Supreme Court?
Communication team member. And some be mrasem na speaker the order be bubu no. And na we say ama asam na ani ya dane kakra. Enye say ya dane kakra ya dane san say say speaker say afei ena won be fa process ni mu e de afa amamere kwan so ayi owura ajechi question din e de afiri omunyuma mu dia ene na ba election declare say ye ko ai no ti omunyina ni abre e wo ho no why the rush aso the parliament ba be ye no ebema the letter commission nso ayese ye kwakoto aba no ebe kan rokwan bi so anase eden na de beba afi na ebobọ ba enti sabe yen kan yen bi kaja bi ye de be se he ya na bripamu no yasamba ya betena se na di san community say ayasama ehuhia ye pa na ye fa ye ntu ye se na be beboa ama oman na so bduatumi agire san se kama mi ka bi no e kire wadwena me kire magire se yan hwe ya ebetumi do hawo na ebeba enti ye fa sia na bripamu no ye besan bebe medin ade medase medin ade agya kwabra me ne Sadat Mohammed ene de kasebo no ebremu ye ho nyakopon ya adomo kira nopa adche nsoma beba ya kramo